Good day, everyone. So, my presentation was from page 104, talks about validity and reliability in assessment, validity of assessment strategies, phrase validity, content validity, criterion validity, and construct validity. Okay, so what is validity? So, validity is basically how accurate your tool or strategy is when it comes to measuring something. So, for example, you see that I have this picture of this ruler here. So, for example, a ruler is used to measure something like if you want to measure a pencil, a paper, a ruler is valid for that. But, for example, what if you're trying to measure someone's intelligence or personality? So, that's where it gets very tricky. Okay, so what are constructs? So, unlike physical traits like height and temperature, motivation and intelligence are constructs. So, for example, they are not directly observable, so therefore we have to use like tests, survey, interviews to assess them. But, however, are these tools really giving us a true picture? Okay, so like I said in the last slide, motivation and intelligence are constructs, and you can use tests, survey, or interview to assess them. But however, even if you use a personality test to figure if someone is kind or honest, people might just say yes to all of the tests. So it can't really measure those traits. So that's why it get complicated. Social desirability effects. So people may answer the test based on what they think is good, not based on what is the correct answer. Like I said, people may just tick yes to all the answer, and that may not actually be true. Okay, face validity. What is face validity? So does the test look like it measure what it's supposed to measure? If it is a math test, not math problems, then it is face validity. But this is subjective. Just because it looks right doesn't mean it isn't right. So just it was a text in the term or defines just because it looks right doesn't mean it is right. Okay, so what is content validity? So content validity is all about coverage. So does the test include all the important parts of the topic? For example, in a math test, if it only covers multiplication, then it lacks content validity. Okay, so what is criterion validity? So this is all about the test result matching with another related measure. So, for example, if the personality test says a person is social and outgoing, but in person they're more to themselves, then this is called a concurrent validity. So, in criterion validity, there are two: concurrent validity and predictive validity. So, predictive validity is basically it's if the match is about future behavior. For example, college exams, with the SATs, that's predictive validity. Okay, so what is construct validity? So this is the big one for those that we can directly observe, like intelligence, motivation, anxiety, and prejudice. So you're using behavioral answers to infer something deeper, but you need strong evidence. But you need strong evidence for your test to really tap in that invisible thing. So therefore, as we conclude, we talked about in the end, if your assessment strategy isn't valid, your result could be meaningless. For example, a quick reading from the passage says a survey asks students if their professor is always available. But what does always really means? 24/7 during office hours? Can you call at 3 a.m.? See, that's the problem. This affects the validity of the question. It should sound clear, but it's really vague. So that falls all the way back in whether validity affects whether you can trust your data, find real patterns, or make any conclusion in your result, in your research.